Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. Now, in the totality of my story, I have a lot of pieces of evidence that I can point out and I can say, look at this, look at this. There's a lot of really interesting things. But in the whole totality of the whole story, from my point of view, the actual most important thing is Billie Jean. The song Billie Jean. In relation, first of all, what the song's actually about, but then how Billie Jean comes in on Motown 25, then Michael Jackson does the moonwalk, just the Billie Jean, the iconic of what Billie Jean is, and that Billie Jean is like this mythical figure, this, who's Billie Jean? There's one of these things, okay? So in the totality of my story, I named Billie Jean, I named the kid in the song, I named the time of the event and where the event has occurred. These are things that I've done where I've laid out Billie Jean. And it's crazy because I can't even get the most real Michael Jackson fans, I can't get them to care. These are just weird. These are the things that I deal with that are like really, really, really hard. It's hard for me to have to see these people and see the way they react. And I'm just like, wow, man, you're pathetic. Man, your mind is like nothing. And it's like, man, that's why then I started yelling. Because what happened, there was so much of that. And all the people that knew me from the past know that I just flat out yelled at every single one of those fans. I went and tried to have interactions with them, tried to get them to look at my Billie Jean explanation, nothing. I literally could not get any of them to have any form of a conversation about my Billie Jean explanation. So I flat out just yelled at them all. They're fake. And that they're stealing from Michael Jackson. The only purpose for them being here in YouTube is that they're here stealing from Michael Jackson. They didn't come here to honor Michael Jackson in any way. They simply came here to steal from Michael Jackson. Every single one of them. Literally. There's not one of them. Everyone! They're fake. They're thieving scumbag losers, and they're so stupid that they can't understand the clear and obvious reality of what I'm doing with Billie Jean. So with my Billie Jean thing, it's so awesome that I'm just like, man, just the first damn line of the song, I can explain so much and it tells so much. Just the first line of the song. So now let me clearly state the song Billie Jean is about when Diana Ross told Michael Jackson that she was actually his mother when Michael Jackson was about 10 years old. That's actually what the song is about. Not anything about what anybody else ever says is complete bull. There's one actual thing about what the song Billie Jean is about. If somebody says, what is the song Billie Jean about? Billie Jean is about Diana Ross telling Michael Jackson that she was actually his real mother when Michael Jackson was about 10 years old. That's what it's actually about. There is nothing else. There's one actual thing that the song is actually about. That's what the song's about. Now, in the first line of the song, it basically tells you so much. She was more like, first line of the song, she was more like. When he says she's more like, he's telling you that he already has an idea and visuals of who this woman is before he's met her. She was more like a beauty queen. So when he's saying she was more like anything, doesn't matter what it is. First thing, she was more like. He's telling you right there, he knows who this woman is. This is Billie Jean who he's talking about. And he's telling you about the encounter of meeting her the first time. When he meets her, she was more like something because he knew who she was. And she has an image. And her image, because it's Diana Ross is a singing star. But when Michael meets her, his interpretations of this is what she actually is when you meet her. She's more like a beauty queen because it's Diana Ross. She's so pretty. She smells so good. She wears these beautiful gowns when she's in concert all the time. So when you actually see her, what would be what would you represent her of? Oh, she's more like a beauty queen. When you actually meet her, you wouldn't say, oh, I met a singing star. You wouldn't just instantly, you wouldn't say that from meeting her. You wouldn't know she's a singing star if she just walked up and you never had met this woman before in your life. And let's say she just came off a stage. She had just performed. You never met this woman, nothing at all. You meet her after she's coming off stage. She's all glamorous. What would that woman look like to you? She would look more like a beauty queen. She looked more like a beauty queen, not a singing star. She looked like a beauty queen. It's clear and obvious of what he's talking about when you understand what the song is actually about. Now, she looked more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. So, Diana Ross tells Michael Jackson that she is his real mother, like in the song later when it says she calls me to her room, this happens much too soon. Michael Jackson is living at Diana Ross. When they signed to Motown, they moved to Los Angeles and move into Diana Ross's house. Okay? So, Diana Ross, when Michael goes in there, she's the beauty queen. This is what's Michael seeing, but it's not just the reality of how her appearance is. The reality of what Diana Ross is actually doing at that time is she's starring in her first motion picture called Lady Sings the Blues, playing Billie Holiday. The character that she plays in the movie is Billie. Now, she's more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. She's more like he knows her before he encounters her. More like a beauty queen because he knows her as a singing star, but when you get to meet her in person, she's so beautiful in the way she dresses. She gives off the appearance of a beauty queen from a movie scene because when Diana actually tells Michael that she's his mother, she's actually filming the movie Lady Sings the Blues. So when he meets her, she's not a singing star, she's literally filming a movie. So she was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. Not the singing star of what he knows her as. The very first line, it's like, look at how much it explains just the goddamn first line of the song. And people went around and tell me, oh, they blah, blah, blah. You shut the hell up. Every single one of you fake fans out there that wants to yell and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, you're fake. Every single one of you, I don't care who it is. I care not. Every single story that has ever been written or told about the song Billie Jean is a lie. Every single story that has ever been written or told about Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 is a lie. How many times do I gotta tell it? They lied to you. All of it's a fucking lie. And it ended up with Michael Jackson as a dead fucking junkie at 50. And now 10 years later, he's being destroyed as a fucking pedophile in society because nobody ever fucking stood up for him his whole entire goddamn fucking life. Fuck you fake Michael Jackson fans, every fucking one of you thieving fucking losers.